So here we have a GAMS model. We can execute it just like that. The model is about a solar cooling system and calculates the total project cost, including all investment costs and all variable costs, considering the whole project duration. So after some time, this algorithm comes to an end and gives us the solution, optimal solution found. Great, but what if we want to know the solution for a slightly different input parameter? Because that result is based on hundreds of input parameters, and some of them might have a big effect on the solution. The solution might be very sensitive to them. And first of all, we want to know what a change can do to the solution. Or maybe a customer or a client or a reader of the thesis or whoever is also interested in that. And that's where we can make a sensitivity analysis, which basically means we run the model, we execute GAMS over and over again, but for certain parameters we sneak in values that change with each execution. For example, these are the values from 5 to 20 in steps of 0.5. And down here they are substituted for the original value, in this case of the project duration. So we can execute this script. It takes a while, so of course I prepared it already. Here you can see the project duration on the x-axis from 5 to 20 years, and the blue line shows the optimal number of absorption chillers. So that graph can show how strongly the economic most feasible solution depends on the considered project duration. And down here, just as an example, it's the variable cost per year that has to be paid. And we could also make the whole thing two-dimensional. Here I have another script, and then two parameters are substituted by the values provided from Matlab. One goes from 4 to 20, another from 500 to 1500. We can have a look in the GAMS code. I would then take the lower part of the code, and here is again the project duration substituted by the first value, and the upper limit for the area of the solar collector field is limited or substituted with the second value. And this is the line where GAMS is executed. Here are some lines just to store interesting data, and down here we can plot the whole thing, or whatever we want to plot. So that takes even longer, of course, because for this matrix we need more than 100 executions of GAMS. And the result may, for example, look like this. On this axis, the upper limit of the solar collector field, the aperture area, increases, like assuming a bigger area that is available. And on this axis, the project duration increases, just as in the one-dimensional analysis before. And the surface plot here shows the optimal number of absorption chillers and results in such a chart. So with such a script and switching back and forth from Matlab to GAMS and exchanging data, storing data, and finally plotting data, a sensitivity analysis can be done quite conveniently. And the other videos will show you how to do that step by step. On my website you'll also find some written advice and some files to download to do all that. What is Excel doing in the whole thing? Basically really only providing input data. This is what I also use for my thesis. So here's a bunch of constants that are not really, don't belong together, but for convenience I group them, make them one parameter. Here are data for the different devices that are considered by the algorithm. And this list is extendable, so I could add other devices. Right here what kind of group they are. Is it a compression chiller or a heat storage or whatever? And then the code will automatically include them in the optimization algorithm. Similarly, I can delete a device and don't need to change the code. Everything will just work as before without considering that device. Other parameters are in a two-dimensional form. Here are some decision variables. That's a flow matrix that allows certain connections and forbids certain connections. So Excel is just very convenient to list all these data. And then in the GAMS code there are some lines, to be precise it's these lines, that read out the Excel spreadsheet and read in all the data. I'll also show you how to do that on my website and in the other videos. The other videos really show all you need to make such a sensitivity analysis yourself. How to get data from Excel into GAMS, how to execute GAMS from Matlab, and how to read out data from GAMS using Matlab. It's explained step by step, and you are most welcome to watch these videos or to see my website.